bandit, oh bandit, oh bandit. Do you wanna be a slave or do you wanna be a man? A man! Which side are you on? 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 Everyone! Which side are you on? 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 U.S. out of Iraq! Free Palestine! U.S. out of Iraq! Free Gaza! Which side are you on? Come on!
Wasn't that great? Come on, let's hear it again. One of the most interesting pieces you'll see, I promise you that. Up next, we'll hear from Shaquille Senegal, who is the executive director of the Islamic Church Council of Southern California. Shaquille Senegal.
My colleague, a young person, Ahmed Shah from the Muslim Student Association, to say a few words. Ahmed. How's everybody doing? I can't hear you! There's a famous saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who says, when you see something wrong, fix it with your hand. And if you cannot, then fix it with your tongue. In other words, speak out against it. And if you cannot, then fix it in your heart. At least hate it. And I want to applaud each and every one of you today. We cannot fix this problem today with our hands, but we came out today and we fixed it with our tongues. We're speaking out against this illegal occupation. Give it up for yourselves. There's a verse from the Quran in which we're told that whoever takes an innocent human life, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And whoever has saved a human life, it is as though he has saved the whole of humanity. When I look at this rainbow of people today, it is inspiring and amazing to see the different colors. How many people here do we have from the African American community? Let's hear you. How many Latinos and Latinas, Chicanos and Chicanas? How many Asian brothers and sisters do we have here? How many Muslims do we have here? Now, those are the different groups of people that have been represented here. But how many of us are against this illegal occupation in Iraq? And how many of us are against the illegal apartheid in Palestine? And how many of us are against this occupation in Afghanistan? And how many of us are against any sort of action that would be taken against Cuba? How many of us are against any occupation of Venezuela? How many of us are against the killing of any human life? Despite the different colors and the different backgrounds and the different socioeconomic backgrounds that we come from, we all stand together that human life is sacred. That all human life is equal, irrespective of if it's in Afghanistan, if it's in Cuba, if it's in Venezuela, if it's in Louisiana. All human life is sacred. And that's why we're here today. And it doesn't matter who wins this election, if it's McCain, if it's Hillary Monster Clinton, if it's Obama. We will be here next year if the war continues. We will be here next year if the occupation continues. We will be here next year if the embargo continues. How many of you will be here next year if this occupation continues? So we stand here today on an ideology that human life is sacred, and we will continue to defend human life while this regime continues to take it. Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.
Thank you to the Shura Council and MSA. Up next, we'll hear from Don White of the Coalition for World Peace.
You're the real heroes. of this country. You are the real heroes, and you're standing in the rain. And I want to just salute you all for being here. Tomorrow is the 40th anniversary of the massacre in My Lai, Vietnam. It was 40 years ago tomorrow that U.S. soldiers in Vietnam murdered, annihilated, massacred over 500 innocent men, women, and children in the community of My Lai. You know, a definition of psychosis is continuing behavior that always ends up in negative consequences, but continuing that
Serious
behavior
question here.
anyway.
What the fuck does that
This is
do
the
with
best
Iraq?
evidence that we have psychotics in Washington, D.C. running our foreign policy. I want to just take my minute to salute and to embrace the people around the world who have been victims of U.S. policy, and the people here in our own country, the nearly 4,000 dead, and thousands of young people who have done the best they thought, the best they could. We send our youth abroad to fight unjust, illegal, unethical, immoral wars that exploit people. And they're based on lies and corruption. If you've been listening to KPFK, Winter Soldier, you know that the testimony is so heartbreaking that it's bringing our listeners to tears, they say, as they listen to Winter Soldier. Do listen to that on KPFK. I just want to say on behalf of the Coalition for World Peace, thank you to the Answer Coalition and all of the organizations that came forward to do this. Let's remain committed, intensifying and escalating our opposition to the war. And let's do it in the name of the thousands and thousands of Iraqis and others who have been killed as a result of U.S. policy. Let's do it in the name of the 4,000 U.S. troops that have been killed in the name of this illegal, unethical, immoral war. Let's do it in the name of all of those Iraqis who are under siege and living a life of terror because of U.S. policy. Let's end the war. Let's end it now. I salute you, the real heroes of the United States. Viva FLN in El Salvador. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Don White. Our next speaker is Faith Santia with Gabrielle Network, who's also with the Bipartisan Alliance. Please give it up for GabNet LA.